Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. This is Sail, a two-player cooperative trick-taking game where you're trying to get your ship, which is this, navigated to the end point, starting off down at the start point. We have just done scenario 1. Did take us a couple of goes to actually win at this game. As you can see, there's an intro. We haven't played the intro yet. We went straight into scenario 1, whereby you have to get past storms by the end of the second round, represented by these little markers on here. So you have someone who goes first, so whoever is pointing towards this side. So you have like whoever's got like a dark top on, or in this case, I've got a different kind of top on, so I'm kind of sat this side. And then what you're going to have 9 cards shuffled and dealt out each. You're then going to pass one, having looked through your deck of cards, and give one to your opponent face down. They're going to give one to you. And sometimes you actually have a unique ability which lets you peek at the card that you're getting. So you get there's 6 different cards, so you can play with random or up for what you want to use, which might let you move your ship forward in a straight line rather than moving towards this way or this way diagonally. So what's going to happen is someone's going to reveal a first card. So let's say it's me. I happen to reveal, say, this card, which is a low value card. I wouldn't actually start off with this because all 1s and 2s start in this deck, where you have a Kraken, which I'll come back onto. And what's going to happen is I might reveal a 3, and let's say the next person is going to follow suit. Just remember, of course, it will be them starting because they're pointing that direction. But if they happen to win the trick, they've got a higher value. 2 things happen. Firstly, you compare and see if there's any correct symbols going on. So in this case, this is a Kraken symbol, also matching with a steering wheel. But let's just run through the various actions in order. So if you both have 2 steering wheels, so one plays a steering wheel and another person plays it, you're moving the ship, and you're moving the ship in the direction of whoever won it. So if my teammate won it, we move the ship this way. If I'd won it, we move this way. Now, again, I did have a different character, which means if I win, I can choose which way it moves. Now, the next time we want my teammate to win again, because we will not move anywhere if we were to bash into that. And if we happen to be down here and we moved into this, then we can take damage as well, but you can actually land on it. Now, talking about damage, let's talk about these other cards. Well, this one, next one down, involves a tentacle and 2 steering wheels. So if that comes up, you move forward. But in addition to activating your ability, like with this one, you do take 1 damage, which basically means 1 card comes out of here into your discard pile, which is good and bad, but it's generally bad because ultimately the Kraken will awaken, which means more cards can come out and ultimately you lose the game. And at the end of the round, you are losing 3 more cards from this pile as well. So that is not necessarily a good thing, but there's various things written on here. So that's basically how it works. Immediately advance to death. So next one down is, yes, if there are 2 tentacles, 2 damage, but you're moving the ship forward and you're activating ability if it's possible. Again, if you happen to have things that do not match any of these lists, you're not doing anything. So for example, a whale and a cannon, nothing will happen, you won't move. You will win a trick though, which means you'll move your track marker along for how many tricks won. And as soon as somebody reaches 4 tricks, that ends the round. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing, but ideally, maybe you want to win like 7 tricks because you need to make sure you get past these points as and when necessary. And again, these points will vary depending on which scenario you're in. So next thing down here relates to bringing cards basically back into the tentacle or the Kraken deck, which is great. So you're putting these cards back into here. Specifically, you're putting the card which has the tentacle and the steering wheel on it. And you can tell what its tentacle and steering wheels are kind of going to appearing at, 1, 2s, and 3s. Cannons 4 and 5, steering wheel 6 and 7 and 8, and then the whale at 9. So the 2 cannons, this is a good card as well. It lets you get more cards and you get to see kind of more stuff that you can deal with as well, which is good. And then moving on to the whale, which moves your ship directly forward in a straight line, which as you can see is more effective than doing this or this because it's kind of like twice as far overall. So that's kind of how the game is going to work. Lots of discussion going on. It does say 10 minutes on the box or something like that, or 20 minutes. I think with the discussion though, it's a bit more than that actually. I think we had initially 50 minutes initially when we went through it. I'd say kind of 30 minutes makes sense. There are 3 different suits, values 1 to 9 as you've seen. Nice artwork, very nice small box, another game by All Play. You can check out my video for Mountain Goats, which is another small box as well. But yeah, nice color scheme. Variety with the different pirates. Being aware of the fact that, of course, this does advance and things get more and more treacherous. As Zenny always ask me about any kind of questions, comments are best on YouTube, and like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Aside from that, again, other abilities can be triggered and going on. Again, you can't look at the cards you're exchanging. The Kraken will damage the ship the number of times as we mentioned it. And at the end of the second and the 4th round, I said you need to make sure you are at the various storm locations. Also, one other thing to note is when you have the cannon actions, when you are revealing a card that comes over, you are gaining the ability. So in this case, if you reveal the card and it happens in this case to be a steering wheel, then over here you are moving the ship forward. Again, excuse the lighting here. Forward towards the player who won the trick. Next one down is place this card at the bottom of the Kraken deck, move the ship straight forward on one face line, and flip another card as you've seen already with the cannon. Thanks very much for watching. For now, that has been Sail. Back to the table. Okay, I think that's